Now, you had a complete choice of who you approached for a portrait.
Yes.
Why Don McCullin?
Well, I've admired his work for many years. I've seen his exhibitions, and then I happened to see a documentary on television, and I thought he was, profoundly interesting, had a lot of depth and compassion, and also that he had a wonderful head, because he's got a very powerful sort of chiseled face, and I like the fact that his nose sort of takes a couple of turns. So I just thought he would be interesting to paint and to meet, really.
What sort of a sitter was he?
Well, he's quite a restless person, as you can imagine, but he was very generous with his time. He's just not used to being on the other side of the lens, so to speak. So I think initially he was a little bit uncomfortable. He likened it to being in the psychiatrist's chair, which was quite funny. But we got on very well. I mean, a lot of what you do as an artist is to try and make the sitter comfortable, feel relaxed, and we played music and we chatted, and you're there, you're empathising with that person. You're not there to try and catch them out or reveal anything horrible about them. You're actually a sympathetic eye, and I hope that comes across.
Does that sort of conversation while he's sitting actually help you? I mean, does that conversation flow through to your brush?
Well, you're getting to know somebody, and of course it does, yes. I mean, you also watching them move and the subtle changes in expression. You're getting to know them physically, but you're also hearing their life story, so to speak, and it gives you insights, and then that kind of offers you opportunities with what qualities to bring out in the person in the portrait.
Can I ask you why you chose to sit him in a chair wearing a trench coat?
Well, the chair frames his head, not unlike a photographic print. So I like the fact that he's against that light background and that it's framed. And the trench coat is sort of a reference to the kind of combative aspect of his life and the past. But it's also very monumental and sculptural. It's timeless, and I like that. I wanted him to look strong, and it forms a kind of a pyramid almost. Yes, it just seemed appropriate. We tried several different things, and that was the thing that I thought would work best.
His hands are very powerful.
He's got wonderful hands. They're a little bit arthritic now, but I like that. And also they're so much a part of his working life, his trade, so to speak. And you always try and find a way of displaying hands, or I do, to try and, because they're as much a portrait in a way as the head itself.
Of all the images you could have chosen to show on the wall beside him,
yes.
You've chosen a landscape, not one of his more horrific war photographs.
No, but I still think there is a reference to death and the war photographs in a way. He often talks about his landscapes, which were always, by the way, taken during the winter months when the landscape is asleep, and he often refers to them as battlefields. So there is a subtle hint of the tragedy of what he's witnessed. But I didn't want it to be too overt. I wanted the painting to be about the man rather than his sort of attributes. It's not necessarily a shopping list where you have a camera and all these references in the painting that are obvious. It's a subliminal thing, and also he's reflecting on it. His eyes, his gaze is following that direction. So it helps your eye move around the canvas as well. There are all kinds of reasons for putting it there.
Charlotte, thank you for your time. The final question has to be,
yes.
What was his reaction?
Well, thankfully, he was very pleased. That is always slightly nerve-wracking when you first show the person the painting, but he was very pleased, I think. I mean, he's very knowledgeable about art and painting, and he took a great interest in the whole procedure of working and the process.
There's a slight element of Al Capone about him.
Well, that might be the coat, yeah, with the collar up, but it suits him. He fits that kind of image perfectly, I think. He is quite heroic, even though he doesn't like to be talked about in that way, but he's risked his life many times, and he's shown the world what human beings are capable of, and in a way that's been very, very difficult, and it has had a personal cost to him, so that is important. It needed to be shown, I think.
Charlotte, congratulations.
Thank you.